sat on your dick. Hey, Fousey, are you coming?
We are back. The other day, I made a video talking about FouseyTube. In that video, I talked about how I saw a couple of clips on TikTok about FouseyTube doing his whole live stream shtick. His subathon, whatever it is at this point, I can't even tell what it is. I'm not that invested, like I said in that video. And I'm still seeing a bunch of those clips. And a lot has happened since I made that video, like a lot. And that is saying even more, honestly, coming from me, because I am very, very lightly paying attention to this. I am just seeing some funny moments here and there. So the fact that I am noticing that a lot has happened is probably pretty big. I already mentioned it in the last video, so I'm going to keep it brief for this one. But if you don't know who FouseyTube is, he grew up in the era of terrible YouTube pranks where basically no one enjoyed them, and for some reason they all got views and we all had to deal with it.
That's it! It's a prank!
If you want a bigger and better explanation of who Fousey was, go check out the other video I just made about him, and I go way more in depth, and also you can get a lot more information about what's been going on. Sadly, no speakers will be double dipped in ranch dressing this time, although Fousey will be getting a little wild. In my last video, I said that I think that is a little weird how many people are so quick to assume the exact situation, and while I still stand behind that sentiment, I think that maybe at this point I would start to agree with some of those people. There is a possibility that Fousey is on some sort of drug, and if that is the case, it's not a laughing matter. That is a sad thing. I know a lot of people don't seem to understand that. Fousey will be very quick to scream in a person's face lately that he is not insane, and I think he might be going a little manic again. To his own admission, he has been manic in the past, and a lot of that is to do with the pressure that is put on him. I don't know what kind of pressure it really is. I don't mean to judge somebody else, but I mean, I don't know if pressure is the right word when you're just making like fake prank videos, which is what he used to do, or nowadays where he just has a camera on and is doing a subathon and kind of acts like an idiot.
What's up? I'm gonna dance.
One of the saddest things about Fousey's whole return to the internet is the amount of weird people he's associated himself with. I don't really want to talk about it too much, like I've said. It just feels like he's putting himself around all these people for clout, and that is exactly what makes me want to make fun of him as a person and laugh at what he's doing, because he's basically a court jester. This guy is basically put himself around a bunch of bozos just to get internet fame and money again.
Hey, look, I'm gonna share with you my beliefs. You can share with me yours. You do it through the devil or you do it through God. There's the only two ways.
The people he surrounds himself with are the most absurd, cringe-worthy human beings you'll ever meet. Man, is that embarrassing. All right, come on. I said I wasn't gonna say names, but the dude's hanging out with fucking Sneeko. Holy fuck, is that cringe. Sneeko? Come on, have self-dignity. So he's not hanging around anybody respectable, and also just like the shit they're doing is so lame. It's like the kind of shit that was cool for middle schoolers to do, like hang around and like box and like shit talk and like slap each other.
You're a Z-list. You're a piece of... I spit on the ground.
Bro,
you
there's
walk
no
on.
way you're real, bro.
I did that.
Right.
I don't know. It just feels like exactly what happened in like 5th through 7th grade.
Motherfucking hat, suck my dick.
The dude's like 30.
I'm 19.
So it's so cringe. He really is that middle schooler who was obsessed with Drake and made it his whole personality.
But if she wanted, I bet your life would drag my head. I bet suck my bald-headed bitch.
Kind of been an L lately, but we can still laugh at him like the little clown he is. In the same token of him flexing how much money he has, he talks about how broke he is.
And I'm worth over $50 million. I have no money right now, I'm broke.
And I think that is the perfect epitome of this guy will say anything to keep the conversation going and to keep people listening to him.
I stand on it. And I'm worth over $50 million. What are you worth?
Probably more than you.
I'm worth over $50 million. What are you worth?
You just made $17 million in that.
What are you worth?
If we're going
You want
by...
to show bank accounts? I sign my kick deal tomorrow.
Let's do it.
I'll pull up my bank account and show you.
Pull up your bank account right now.
No, I have no money right now. I'm broke.
He just wants eyes on him and people talking about him. It's kind of obvious and it's kind of sad. I think that's one of the most pathetic things in the entire world, when someone does whatever they need to do to get talked about. Do you guys remember that one Pearl girl, whatever the fuck her name was, who basically just was sexist towards women? like just for clout, and would say like out-of-pocket conservative takes. And I'm not trying to start a conservative versus liberal debate in the comments. All I'm saying is, I think if you're on either side of the coin, you can agree that a lot of the shit she said was bat crap, stupid, dumb, idiotic, cringe, literally just bait to get people to hate on her most of the time. And that's the same thing. It's just cringy and so unbelievably lame to see a person just like that desperate to have people watch them. Like, they don't want to do anything good. They don't want to do anything worthwhile. They don't want to add any substance. They just want to piss people off or do whatever they need to do to get seen. It's just so gross, man. I don't know. I genuinely want to feel bad for a person like that, but it's also so hard because it's like half the time they're doing stuff like this, like where they're just kind of being gross and weird. I don't feel bad for someone who's gross and weird. You're gross and weird. And at a certain point, I gotta be honest, I am just laughing at this guy. He is making himself look like an orangutan in public just to keep the views coming in. On Twitter, he tried to @Kick to get them to give him money because he is so broke.
And I'm worth over $50 million. Right now I'm broke.
But when he went to tweet @Kick, basically begged them to give him a contract, a very large contract. I think it was 79 million if I remember correctly. One of the first people he ats in that tweet is Drake.
Drake!
Fousey, for the life of him, cannot let go of Drake. And honest to God, I have a feeling that Drake is like the Drake meter for how much Fousey talks about Drake is about probably how well you can gauge his mental state, because that is exactly what happened last time when shit went south for him. Drake didn't show up to the event. And you know, in the last video, I showed him literally having a panic attack in a hotel looking for Drake and not being able to find him because there was absolutely no reason for Drake to be in that hotel, and there was absolutely no reason that he jumped to the conclusion that Drake was even in the hotel. All of this comes together to say Fousey's not doing so well right now. Also, I want to make something clear. I'm not a FouseyTube fan. I thought that was very much an abundantly clear thing when I said I was very, very lightly paying attention to everything in the first place. But I want to make that clear as well, because I have seen him say some shit in the past couple days that has very much so irked me. I'm not even going to get into that because I just want to talk about the stuff that I find funny. But when I saw a couple of these things, I wanted to establish myself as not somebody who enjoys this, but somebody who is laughing from the outside. On top of hanging out with basically a lot of the scum of the internet, a bunch of creators whose names I don't even know, and a lot of them look like goofballs, but just a lot of also scumbag creators. Every single person I've seen him being like hanging out with recently is just a weirdo. And maybe that paints the picture as to why a lot of this is happening. This dude is surrounding himself with childish assholes, and he himself is now being a childish asshole. And so, all the shenanigans aside, today's video I wasn't even gonna make until one specific thing happened.
You're fucked! Hey! Hey, free Fousey!
The cops got called on FouseyTube. Well, that's actually not the exact thing I mean, because the cops have gotten called on him many times, apparently, in the past, like, week. But this time, the cops were called by Fousey himself. And when they arrived, apparently, they took him in, and this has a lot of people saying, FouseyTube got arrested. This is getting, like, to be the headline on a lot of things. I am now seeing a very large amount of people correcting these headlines and saying, no, he did not get arrested. The cops take him in for mental screening, which, if that's the case, good. It is a very good thing because he obviously needs to be checked on. And also, this guy has got to stop streaming. Like, he can make content, I feel like. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but he's got to stop streaming at least 24/7. It seems like he streams non-stop, and then he goes insane on stream, and then the internet is the internet, and they goat him into acting even more insane. And he's just not fit for this shit. So I guess we'll have to see how this ends. Hopefully, at the end of the day, like I said earlier, I'm not the biggest fan of FouseyTube, but I'm still not a person who wishes bad things on people. So like I said, hope this guy is able to get some help if he truly needs it. Or if what I said in the first video, that he's really just playing up for views, is actually true, which I'm starting to think it's not, then he's really getting it done. But anyways, I have a lot of ramblings in this one. It's 2 a.m. I make these videos very late because I have work and then I stream and I do a lot of things during the day. So it's kind of hard to record other videos. So my brain might not always be moving as fast paced as it should be, but that's okay because then the voices are a bit quieter. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like the video if you did. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think about this whole situation. I think it's a pretty crazy one, and honestly, as much of it that can be handled offline should be. Hope everybody has a great rest of their day. I'll catch you all on the next one. Bye.